What's up, everyone? Let me just go out and come back in because I'm awkward and don't know what I'm doing. I'm so used to a countdown, which still confuses me. I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I added some moderators. I don't know if you guys noticed that. But if you're a regular in here, you just got wrenched. So let's see who's here. Mike J, Behold, Andrew and Gnomes Trucking Express, what's up? Ann Palmer, JJ Cryptid. I know this isn't the top, but it looks like the top to me. So that's where I'm going to start at. Thank you for joining me. Dragons, what is up? Casey Hake, I think I'm saying that right. Hello. Welcome. I never saw your name before, so you're probably new. Paradox Fossils, you got wrenched. Let's see, who else? New Zealand Mysteries, what's up? Thanks so much for coming in. I definitely appreciate you guys. Steve's working on his book, and he's just like got this deadline, and he's actually tired probably for the first time since I've known him. So I was like, you know what? I'll just do it for 45 minutes to an hour. Just say hi, hang out with you guys. Joyce Lee, welcome. I don't recognize your name. Thank you so much. Lotus Girl, hey boo. Vera Ray, what is up? Donna Messenger, you've been wrenched as well. New Zealand Mysteries. What's up, Bruce Hansen? How's it going? Smoochy, smoochy. How you doing? I hope I didn't miss anybody. Oh, you guys are welcome. You're new too. Yeah, Joyce, welcome. So I have absolutely... I'm chewing on a candy as usual. I have absolutely no program schedule for this, so we're just going to take it as it goes. My beautiful elven goddess, Sweetly Morbid Bear. Busy hands full, so hey, loves. That works for me. Bear Bee. Nice. Donna Messenger, I'm here too. Ann Palmer, I absolutely love that show. I think I've done several videos with like the stories from These Woods Are Haunted in it, but I've watched every episode so far, unless they have new ones, which would be awesome. Yeah, pretty much open forum. 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how it goes. I didn't want it to be boring for you all, but I feel like when I plan something, it's like weird. Tony the Rock Fams, hello, my amazing, beautiful family. Hope everyone is doing good. Are they paying you at work to watch me again? That's pretty awesome. I'm like, Getsy, good to see you. Dragons, blasphemous. If you're lucky, you'll get snow. I cannot stand snow. I call it boot ruining snow. Hey, Cowie. How's the weather in Hawaii? I'm never going to see your name without thinking of Hawaii. I hope everyone's doing really well. It's Friday night. You guys are hanging out here with me. I was going to read a chapter from my book, but then I was like, I don't know if that's stupid. For everyone who's new, normally this is me and Steve Stockton from Missing Persons and Mysteries. And we kind of do the same thing. Usually more people will come in because he has over 100,000 subs on his channel. And we do it over there. I write most of the content for that. Steve and I do a lot of things together. Sunday nights fireside chat. But tonight we weren't going to go on at all, but I didn't want to not go on again. So I just figured I'd come in and say hi. Divine Diamond, hello. I love how everyone has their own little emojis. Yeah, I was going to say emoticons, but wow, how old am I? Emoticon. There is no emoticon to express how I'm feeling. Do you guys remember that comic book guy from The Simpsons? I'm working on... So I think the next video is going to be either the Myrtles Plantation, which I've got to say, I was really disappointed. LG, Larry, welcome. Gray Wolf, what is up, girl? Joyce Lee, love Steve Stockton too. You're both great. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. I finally feel like I'm coming into my own a little bit more. It's not just like Steve and I'm like his sidekick. Like we're both the superheroes now. It's pretty cool. I forgot what I was saying. Tez Hop. Oh, hey. Chillin' Charlie, what's up? So good to see you. I want to hear about your new gig in December too. I'm so proud of you. Vera Ray, thank you. As most of you know, I'm so nervous about it, but it's super exciting. So on October 7th, I did the Spaced Out Radio interview with Dave Scott about my book, Missing the Faith Theory. It's my first book, but I am contracted for at least 3 more. So I went on to talk about the Fae and my book and what I'm doing on YouTube. And we talked about Robot Granny. And Dave and I had a really great time. It flew by. I had so much fun. The only thing I didn't like about it is that I said like 150 times. Like, you could make a drinking game out of the amount of times I said because I was nervous. Like, Dave Scott, like, that's huge, right? So about a week later, maybe not even a week later, Steve hits me up and he's like, Dave Scott is, has a time slot, and, guess who he chose to fill it on KPNL Spaced Out Radio. And I'm like, oh my God, like, congratulations. And he's like, no, not me. He chose you. He's trying to call you. And I was working, so I had my phone off. I just happened to look up and see Steve calling. And Dave was like, he really impressed me. What's up, KC? Hey, Blue Heron. Anyone else that came in that I didn't see? And he's like, I have this spot open 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern time, Saturday nights and Sunday nights, talking about paranormal events. So it'll be me, Big Willie Townsend, and the other guy that's going to be on there with me. I'm going to be in a meeting with him, Willie, Dave, on Sunday. So I don't remember the guy's name, and I always feel so bad. But like, Willie comes into my streams. He's on my Facebook. I don't remember the other guy's name. So it's going to be the 3 of us. And we're going to be talking about like what's going on in the paranormal community, in the paranormal world, maybe some extraterrestrial stuff every week, twice a week. And it's so exciting, so cool. About to have my office set up. Dev Bradley, New Zealand Mysteries, awesome news, Gemma. Dev, welcome. Yeah, I'm really, really excited and scared. And I couldn't help but thinking, like, why me? Like, I'm so small in the community compared to the people I work with, like, Dave Scott and Spaced Out Radio and Steve Stockton. And he was just like, I don't know. I guess he just enjoyed the interview with me that much. And that's so incredibly flattering and humbling. So I'll remind you guys, but it's starting December 11th. It's a Saturday night, and it'll be Saturday and Sundays, 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern time on KPNL, but also streaming on Spaced Out Radio on YouTube. So it's going to be really cool. And Edna, welcome. I was just thinking of you because I'm doing your November reading tonight. Hopefully finishing up my Patreon readings. Tyray, what's up? Tyray, I'm going to wrench you too, if I can get to you, because the chat keeps skipping. Get over here. I just like to have, you're already a wrench. I like to have a lot of moderators. We have some people, one person in particular who was, getting very inappropriate, especially with the women and talking about sexual things and body parts. And, if you come in often and we consider you part of the family, we'll time you out. We'll send you an email, or I will send an email stating what the problem is. And, me, as nicely and non-confrontational as possible. But it's like 3 strikes and you're out. So this person went and made another account with the same name and came in. And, the person starts out normal and then progressively gets nastier and nastier. I think they drink. So I want to have a lot of wrenches. Donna Messenger, are you still going blue on Sunday? So Sunday night, I am not going to be at Campfire Tales Fireside Chat. Sorry, guys. I'm going to Donna's house to hang out. I work 19 straight hours every single Sunday. And I just kind of need a break. Plus, I have my daughter's 13th birthday party next week, so I have to dye my hair. I'm not going to go blue, but I was thinking about, they have this color, and I'll get off hair dye because I know a lot of you aren't interested in that, called Downtown Brown. And it's a really dark blonde or a light brown, however you want to put it. And you don't need bleach or anything for it. So I'm considering that. Christina Bell, yes, you are like a ninja. You are very elusive. 15 weeks in a row, you've come in to the Wednesday night live stream. And I'm like, I put you on the list. And then I never, ever got to read for you yet. Danielle Taylor, welcome. Jesus saved a wretch like me. Absolutely. Blue hair on. I need pictures of your daughter's party in your outfit. Oh, girl, please. We're going to have so many pictures. My daughter's like me. She likes selfies. She pretends like she doesn't because she's at that age where she's like real tomboy now. I've got channel memberships coming. Hopefully in the new year, I'll have merch coming, and it's going to be Gemma and Steve merch. It's going to be SNEMA merch. I don't know if they're going to put it on Missing Persons and Mysteries, but it'll be here on this channel. That's what it is. Paradox Fossils. I definitely think that's the case. Christina is a celebrity and she doesn't want me to know, like find out. Brown Dwarf, what is up? My wife dyed her hair dark purple, but it looks black until the sun hits it. That's usually what I do. I do a blue black that's so blue. So black that you can only see the blue when the sun hits it. So, but I don't know. I was blonde once. I really liked it, but it was way too much upkeep. But there on Facebook, there's this Snapchat filter that has, it's my Facebook profile picture. It has, puts blue hair on you, and everybody really liked it. They thought I actually dyed my hair. So proud and happy for you, Gems, Gray Wolf Paranormal. Thank you. And I always say, it's all you guys. If it wasn't for you guys, where would I be? I mean, Dave even said, like, so many people showed up for me in that interview. So many people, like, he gained quite a few subscribers from you guys going in and, hanging out and liking and subscribing to his channel and being there for me. I only had one person in the whole chat who was like, everything I said, she was like, that's not true. I know differently. And I felt like being like, listen, like, write your own book on the Fae and, talk to me then. But I don't even worry about that stuff anymore. But if it wasn't for you guys, then I wouldn't be here. So I definitely owe it all to you. And that's why I didn't want to miss tonight's stream. I know for Steve to miss, he's really busy because Fridays and Sundays are our nights to interact with you guys and hang out. So Nick Y, my Nikki, welcome. Call me Mr. Flintstone. What's up, Billy? Thank you for coming in. I was so obnoxious. I was shouting you out over and over in that stream. It wasn't obnoxious. It was awesome. And it definitely had an effect on Dave. And I think it's also one of the reasons he chose me is because of that support. Not everyone gets it. And I finally realized that like, this is something special. People do like me. And, this is my career now. Like, that's crazy because I love it so much. So I was working on 23 likes, guys, 41 watching. Try to hit that like button. I had 70 likes on my Wednesday night live stream. And when I woke up the next day, there was 52. But I know most of it was probably YouTube. Anyone that came in that I didn't say hi to, thank you for being here. So the Myrtles Plantation, I wanted to do a video on it for so long because it's supposedly some people say the most haunted place in America. And I use Bing search engine, which I should have used Google because I got one source and it just really wasn't scary. I'm going to put the video out because I already filmed it, but expect something better and creepier to come. And then I have bizarre encounters with aquatic humanoids. You guys are not going to want to miss that. The universe is making it happen for you, Gem. Yeah, I believe that too. Despite any obstacles or any people who may be trying to sabotage me or stand in my way, being here with you guys puts me back into that focus of like what I'm trying to do here. Does that make sense? Remember, you do not have to text me. I need to battle myself alone and mostly mental self-talk. I need to get in myself about that. Well, if I have the time, I will. Like I said, I'm taking off not a full day. I think I'm going to go by Donna's like maybe 2, 3. So I get up at 10 in the morning and work till then because I still have to write the scripts, for Missing Persons and Mysteries. Kappa, scare me, Gemma. And if I ever renovate my house, I'm going to call upon you as my color consultant. You guys are so cute. We support you all the way, Gemma. Thank you, Aunt Edna. I know you guys do, and it's awesome. All right, Charlie, we're all good. Thank you for your emails. Guys, emails, I'm trying to catch up. I feel like I should be talking about something. I don't know, though. I kind of just didn't want to blow off the chat. So there's really nothing going on. I don't want to say nothing going on because I don't want to be offensive to the people who do have something going on. But there's not much going on in the paranormal community this week. There's not much going on in the true crime community this week. So there really wasn't much to talk about. Gemma for President 2024. I'm telling you right now, that's going on a shirt. That is going on a shirt. It's going to be like me with like sunglasses on or something being like. Right. Sweetly Morbid Bear, as usual. I'm thinking it and not able to get it out. And you said it for me. Just being here for you guys. The people that come later in the comments don't get it. And I always get all these comments like, oh, an hour of you talking about yourself and promoting yourself. And it's like, if you were in the chat, you'd like feel the love. Do you know what I mean? Charlie, I totally understand. Okay. I got you. If you need somebody, and it gets to be too much, you can always hit me up. Okay. But I totally understand. I've gone through that. The Gempire Strikes Back. Oh yeah. That's already written down. The moon is waxing 65%. You know, I just started with small spells, kitchen spells. I got my poppet. Has nothing to do with the fact that the next day I shaved Ray's head. So there might be like some of his hair somewhere. And I agree, Charlie. Supposed to promote myself. The main comments came when when my book first came out, like the day after it came out, and I was promoting the book, and people are like, look at her talking about herself. And I'm like, I just achieved a lifelong dream. Like, can I just be happy about it? But they don't get it, because if you're not in the chat, you don't understand. It's like having a 37-way phone call. Do you know what I mean? Dev Bradley, I love that. Never cast a shadow over anyone unless you're providing shade. The moon was beautiful last night. I'm going to go out of the chat for 1 second because I want to look up the moon right now. I started doing, like I said, little kitchen witchery, little spells. I'm waiting for a spell kit. I have it all in my Gemma Jade YouTube, wish list, but I also purchase things off that wish list as well. And I usually take Patreon money and super chats and I put it towards that. So I'm waiting to get my kit and all that stuff and new decks, of course. But I've been, going through and seeing what I'm going to need for little spells. And this is something I've always wanted to delve into throughout my life, but I didn't know you could be a Christian witch. I thought you had to be Wiccan or pagan to be a witch. So Pat Tierney, 37-way, you usually pay extra for that. Pat Tierney, why do I know your name? Did we go to middle school together? I knew a Pat Tierney in middle school. I went to Woodrow Wilson Middle School in Clifton, New Jersey. Chill and Charlie, same. I have 0 friends and have a problem trusting people, and maybe God has a plan for me that involves being alone. I think this must be the trail I need to trot. Chill and Charlie, listen, can I just tell you? About 18 months ago, I felt the exact same way. And I thought, I can't trust anyone. I can't depend on anyone but myself. And I'm not even sure I can do that. And I was so lonely. I made a YouTube video just reaching out for connection, knowing I was going to be alone and have no friends and nobody I could trust for the rest of my life. And here I am. I don't have someone that I can call right now. Well, I might have 1 or 2 people that I can call right now and say, I need this. Can you come get me? Donna, I'm getting there. Don't worry. Can you come get me? Can you come do this? But for the most part, my friends, my family, and the people I put my trust in are you guys online. I always say I have Donna. She's one of the only people that I can actually, I think she is, besides like my mom, one of the only people that I'll take time to go and spend actual time with at her house, because there's no pressure to perform. Do you know what I mean? I don't have to entertain her. We can sit there and be quiet and watch TV for 2 hours, and there's no pressure. I always felt my whole life that I had this pressure to perform for people. People looked at the way I looked, they saw my face and what I looked like, and immediately got this concept of me, this idea of me in their head. And I always felt like I had to project their idea. I'm a Pisces. I'm very malleable. I'm the chameleon of the zodiac. I mean, we're the fish, but we're the chameleon. And I'm easily, like, I can easily adapt to all different types of people. So, Charlie, don't give up on yourself too much, or don't give up on others too much, because miracles do happen. Pat Tierney, that's awesome. Do you know who I am? Or did you just like stumble upon my channel? That would be so crazy if you just like liked my channel and didn't realize we went to middle school together. Chillin' Charlie. Melissa Nicole, what's up? I'm sorry I didn't see you sneak in, girl. Chillin' Charlie, I'm going to say one more thing, and then I don't want to put any pressure on you. But still to this day, I can't talk on the phone. Like I will with like my mom or my dad, like when I absolutely have to. But even like you can ask my girl squad, even Donna, she messages me pretty much every day to ask me how I'm doing, how I'm feeling, which is so beautiful because she has her own issues. Everyone does. And she knows I won't talk. Like I can't talk on the phone. Like I will always find a reason to rush you off the phone. I just can't do it. So you know what I've just learned to tell people that, like, hey, this is weird, but it's just how I am. I don't talk on the phone. I'm weird with it. Mine actually comes from a trauma involving being in an abusive relationship. Whenever I would answer the phone, what would happen to me, because I'd be accused of like setting people up on the phone to come kill my schizophrenic alcoholic partner at the time. So I've come to just tell people that. Yes, Cowie, I think I just wrenched you. I'm not sure. Donna's been my friend since I think like 2009. And it's funny because I don't remember I do remember the exact way that we met. I went to Kohl's and got this Abby Dawn outfit. It was a little schoolgirl skirt with the little shirt with the tie, the collared shirt. And I wore it to a bar one night because I was a total barfly. And I was offered to do this kind of, it wasn't gothic. I can't think of the word. It was a fashion show at this bar, and Donna was like in charge of dressing the girl. And I remember I said to her, I've got this schoolgirl outfit. She totally serious face. She was smiling at, and like we're talking. And as soon as I said the schoolgirl outfit, her face got real serious and she went, please wear that. And we've been friends ever since. So Chillin' Charlie, I'm the same way. We'll see how Sunday goes. I don't want to put any pressure on you, but I do think maybe some human interaction would be good for you. But don't ever expect me to call you because I don't talk on the phone. Daryl Fawcett, welcome. I believe that too, SMB. We are all way more alike here than we are different. You know, I was saying before, like I've always felt like I don't like saying magic because magic sounds like little kid stuff, but I've always felt like the natural energy flowing through me. I tell you guys, I've always tried to hide my psychic. I've always tried to, do all these things. And now, like when I touch certain things that I have over there, like certain crystals or something, it's just like this electric shock. Melissa Nicole, I'm thinking, like I said, of going back blonde, but I'm not sure. I agree. Magic is neutral. It's how it's directed. It's all about intention. All about intention. A reluctant psychic. Yeah, because it was so frowned upon. Like I'm sitting in class and, there's 3 dead just wandering aimlessly around. And once they know, anyone else in here that also is a medium, like, do you notice, like, once they realize you can see them, like, I understand the meaning of the word haunt now. I really do. I understand the meaning of the word haunt because that's what they do. I mean, imagine being deceased for 200 years and everyone ignores you. Nobody can see you. And then all of a sudden, one day, one person can. I mean, they're going to, you rock the blonde on Halloween. Yes, I love that wig. It's just super heavy. Intent means dangerous actions of your consequences. Alone, gifted, together, powerful. Exactly. When I shared my dreams, people called me a witch. I stopped sharing. When I was little, my dad would, and bless his heart, I love my dad. I don't know if you remember Father's Day. He came on for a minute or two, but he would say, cut it out with your, I don't want to say the RETARD word, SHIT. He would say, cut it out with that. And my mom would acknowledge, and my mom would talk to me about it. But I was, I was a daddy's girl. I still am a daddy's girl, like total stomp out when I want to get my way, daddy's girl. So I didn't want to upset my dad. So I stopped talking about it. And I was very awkward in school. I wasn't popular by any means. So Tyre, we walk a fine line between humanity and paranormal and can be a pain. Oh, absolutely. And it's like scary, but I finally embraced it. And sometimes it does get scary because the deceased don't always appear as they were in real life. The age of 35, I've noticed even for people who die younger than that, the age of 35 is the age spirit almost always picks. But sometimes if they're really hurting or looking for something, they'll appear to me how they looked. Like if someone was, say, murdered, they'll appear to me how they looked right after they got murdered. Blue hair on daddy's girl too. I know that's right. That's why this thing with my dad's new girlfriend is like really freaking me out. My dad hasn't had a girlfriend since I was 10. And they're coming to Thanksgiving. I was like, if I don't invite her to Thanksgiving, I'm going to be just as bad as Ray's daughters, who I've been with him 6 years and I have his child and they still like don't acknowledge me. His one daughter got married and didn't even invite him because she didn't want me coming. Like, I was like, I can't make this girl feel like that. She is a girl. She's a year younger than me, but Ray's 26 years older than me. So I'm like, So I talked to her on the phone and I have met her before. Like when I lived in Patterson, I was out there doing my thing. She's really nice. I have nothing against her. I think it's so cool that my dad's happy. But at the same time, I'm used to being my dad's girl. Do you know what I mean? So now, like when I call him and he doesn't answer, I get like upset. I'm like, he's hanging out with her again. And I don't mean to do that. Like I've got to get out of that mentality of she's taking my dad away. I'm going to be 39 years old on March 1st. And I still have this mentality that this girl is taking my daddy. I'm happy for him too. My daughter does that. She's 22. Yeah, like I can't help it. I like the girl. Like I said, I've met her before. I wouldn't say I was friends with her, but she's making my dad happy. That's awesome. But it was a shock because again, it's been 29 years. And my dad was in his addiction that entire time and he's been clean about a year now. So I feel like I just got my dad back. So there's this little awkwardness with it, but I know it's going to be fine because I would never, for my dad to introduce me to this girl and like bring her to me for Thanksgiving, it's special. And I want to make it special for her and for him. So I asked if there was anything specific, her father passed away, that she used to have, and she was a daddy's girl at Thanksgiving that I can make for her. What are her allergies? I'm trying to make her as comfortable as possible, Amy says, I always felt awkward and kept to myself. Yeah, exactly. I tried to like be outgoing, but it didn't work for me because I was awkward. I always had my head in a book, until I was a teenager. I wasn't the prettiest. I mean, my body shape was that of a stick figure. It was just bad. I was upset when my sister got married and we didn't hang out like we used to. Gracious. And Blue Heron, that's the word. I said to Ray, I said, I really want to just show grace to this girl and hopefully it works out, hopefully she doesn't hurt him. Yeah, it really is, Dev. Must be very important for your father to get your approval. It is. He said that to me. He's like, Gemma, like, this is really important that this goes well. He's like, because if you don't like her, then what am I going to do? I already like her. Like I said, it's not her or my dad that's causing the awkwardness. It's my stomp pout. I want my daddy. That's my dad. You can't have him. Little girl in me. That's like sabotage this, He did meet one girl one time and he met her in a bar and she was just a hot mess. But my dad would like buy her drinks and they'd go and hang out, but it wasn't like a serious relationship. I was ready to destroy this woman because she was like always with a different guy. And like, she was trying to play my dad out. So I would drink and get really mean to her. But I think this is going to work out. I think it's going to be good. I just have to talk to my dad about maybe he's caught up in the new love part of it right now, which I totally get, but I feel abandoned. I have abandonment issues, okay? Yeah, Tyree, that's exactly it. Tyree said, I was reported to the guidance counselor when I told a friend I was seeing shadow people everywhere in middle school. Yeah, you're sent for psychiatric help. I had a literal evil stepmother who would threaten me with the loony bin when I would say things like that. Her grandmother had passed away and had come to her, and I was trying to give her a comforting message, and she flipped. So yeah, sounds a better match. It's just weird because I'm like, she's a year younger than me, but what can I really say? Ray was 4 years out of college when I was born. Ray is older than my parents. What happens to spirit after it passes on? That's a beautiful question. Is it Kazi? I apologize if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Paradox fossils, there are many different realms. It really depends. Someone, I don't want to say his name, that recently decided to use the self-checkout, and it was a really publicized case. And about 2 weeks before they found him, they were looking for him. Sweetly Morbid Bear and I were talking about how he was coming to us and kind of telling us he needed to be found and telling us he was in the woods. I guess because we were invested in the case, and that's happened with, I don't want to say names because I don't want to offend families, but so for that person, they couldn't even face their judgment because the energy, I don't know exactly how it worked, but they couldn't even go to face their judgment, which is what they wanted, to just go face their judgment and get it over with. Others are afraid of the light. Others are shocked and don't know that they're, deceased. And, that's a whole different story. There are people that have fae blood like me, like Sweetly Morbid Bear, that we could very, very well end up in one of the fairy realms. I mean, you just don't know. It really depends. Good night, Blue. Love you, girl. My parents were married 37 years. When my mom died 2 years later, he married my mom's best friend. I never fully accepted her. Well, that I can totally understand. And this girl is the daughter of one of my dad's lifelong friends who passed. So it is, like I said, it's a weird situation. But it is what it is. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt if my dad's happy. Gemma, how many different fae do you know of? Please, mate. Oh my gosh. I mention a lot of them in my book. And before we end, I'm going to read like a chapter of my book just because I want you guys to hear what it's about. But there are too many to name. There are too many realms to name. I would say in the thousands to the tens of thousands, Bruce. So I mean, there's a lot. Thank you so much. Who just said they tweeted the stream? Whoever tweeted the stream, thank you. So honest. Yeah, Grey Wolf, thank you. I'm in recovery, so I have to be rigorously honest. I really do. What's my take on Sasquatch? KZ, so thank you so much, and I think it's a great book. I was going to say, Casey, give me 1 second. I was going to say, Paradox, you reminded me, I'm having like 5 different conversations, but that's the beauty of the chat, right? Some people are extraterrestrial that came here from places like, other planets, other galaxies, somewhere out in the cosmos that they're going to return to. I'm an Earth angel with fae blood, with the challenge and the job of listening. I don't know where I'm going to end up. I believe I came from Lemuria. I know my job is to listen, but I'm still learning all about that. So we could really end up anywhere. And I just want to put out there, and I always do, and you guys are so gracious with me about it, despite your beliefs. I believe in God. Jesus Christ is an absolute rock star to me. Every morning, no matter what I'm doing, how tired I am, I spend at least 45 minutes in written devotional with my Bible to Jesus. So when I talk about these things, I'm not saying I don't believe in heaven or anything like that. But I do believe there's so much more that God created. So, and that's just my opinion. I accept everybody. I tell people all the time, you know, if you're still in active addiction, hit me up. Just don't hit me up for money or a place to stay. Like, but I will help you. If you don't believe in God, if you do, it doesn't matter to me your beliefs. It doesn't matter to me what you look like. It doesn't matter to me, you know, what you've done. What matters to me is how you treat me. That's it. That's literally all that matters to me. Yeah, Edna, a lot of us are connected. Connor, Bigfoot Anon, he and I have several past lives together. I've uncovered 2 so far through meditation, several past lives together. And all of them, so the 2 so far that I found, we have been tragically separated. We were brother and sister in one and husband and wife with 4 kids in another. And both times we were separated very tragically. Brown Dwarf, when I go to California, I'm picking up Sweetly Morbid Bear and we're going to go to Mount Shasta. I believe I'm from Lemuria. Sasquatch. Here's the thing. When I got into this community, I started this channel for addiction and recovery, but because of the censorship that comes with monetization, I switched it up. The reason I cared about monetization is because YouTube is more than a full-time job. If I put 90 hours a week into YouTube, it might be enough to get my channel where I want it and do all the things I want to do. So I need to make money off it. So I went to true crime, but true crime wasn't resonating with me. First of all, every case I covered, the deceased would come to me. And I was just starting to be able to handle that. My whole life, I've been terrified of extraterrestrials and completely uninterested in cryptids. In May of 2020 or April or May, I had an encounter with the Glimmerman entity next to my house in this little park of trails thing. And then I got interested in cryptids. I don't know much about Sasquatch, I got to be honest. But from what I do know and from my research with the Fae and everything I do, there's a little part of me that thinks he's a Fae. A little part, don't jump on me. But there's another part of me that believes he's interdimensional. He comes from somewhere where Sasquatches are normal, whether that's an alternate reality, like here, like on the show Fringe, one of my favorite shows, they would have the other side where like you existed, but you were just a little bit different. So maybe in that world, instead of bears, they have Sasquatches, and maybe bears from our world accidentally cross over and they, you know, they're like, oh my gosh, it's a bear. Do bears exist? Does that make sense? Paradox Fossils, yes, creating a YouTube presence. Exactly. Charlie, you're never alone. I think I emailed you my phone number to text. If I didn't, I will. I'm really hoping that this spaced out radio opportunity, not only is it going to be so fun, I already absolutely adore Willie. I already absolutely adore Dave Scott. But I think it's going to help my subscriber count, which helps with ads, which helps bring money in to make it a full-time job. Sasquatch, I did start getting more interested in cryptids though since the Glimmerman. So you'll be seeing some stuff about Sasquatch definitely on my channel soon. Some live here, others vacation here. Exactly. Bear spirits, right? Like, are they hunting bears like we're hunting Sasquatch? That's kind of what I'm trying to say, you know? Daryl Fawcett, that would explain why Sasquatch isn't seen very often. And also why he's there 1 minute and gone the next, when allegedly they're like, what, 7, 8, 9, 10 feet tall? And that's true too. Higher vibration, hard for a man to see. Vegan, prophet, flat earth, moon, dancing with fish, 13 spirits, paranormal. What's up, guys? Nice to see you. Portals. I've been brought into several fairy realms throughout my life. A lot of it was blurred to me. And somebody asked me, and I regret it, on the Spaced Out Radio interview, somebody asked me, have I ever seen Tony the Rock Fams? I almost bought that shirt for Connor. Somebody asked me if I ever saw any movie or show or anything that even resembled the fairy realm. And I said, no, there's nothing like it. That wasn't true. I was so nervous. I didn't think of Avatar. It's not exactly the same, but the colors, I can't even describe in our language, in our words, what it was like. You know? Wide Awake, new sub here. I'm so glad you're wide awake and welcome. Thank you so much for subscribing. I definitely appreciate it. Vibrant, yes. Some things were blurred out to me. I saw at one point something that looked a little bit like a crystal city. So that had me thinking, and I still haven't made these connections, guys. I'm dealing with so much that I'm just stepping into. But it reminded me a little bit of when I saw Lemuria. So are they connected in some way? You know, I think it's all connected, right? But I was told when I was a little girl that I was being prepared. My dad will tell you this story that we went to this place in Patterson, where I'm from, in New Jersey, called Garrett Mountain. And this used to be some kind of castle. And they left it up and it was like a museum. Now it's just abandoned, but it's on this huge hill. You can overlook Patterson. I love going up there, very peaceful. And my dad used to take me up there to the museum and to just hang out all the time. So we went up one time. My dad will tell you that he like turned around and I was gone. And his heart like skipped. He's like, I was so scared. He said to this day, he's never been more scared. He thought someone had abducted me because there were other people around. He said about 10 minutes later, when he was just about to, you know, this was like 89, 88, 88. I was like 4 or 5 years old. He said that when he was just about to run to get to a phone in the museum to call the police, I popped out of nowhere and said, surprise, hide and seek, daddy, or something like that. That's when I followed my first fae into the woods up there. Good night, Mike J. Thanks so much for hanging out and talking about nothing. I think that we don't, Daryl. I say that a lot. I don't think that we have the words to explain it, but the closest I can get is Avatar. Oh, SMB. Rose Thorne sent me, thanks for the warm welcome. That's so awesome. "13 Spirits Paranormal." Do you have a channel, or is that like the name to something, or is that just something you kind of came up with? I could see SMB with her phone. Like, can you see me now? Can you see me now? KZ Hack. Yes. Are you making more Fae videos? Yes. I don't know if you're over on Missing Persons and Mysteries, but they have the Missing in the Fae, I think 1, 2, 3, and 4. I wrote those. Also, I have the same ones on my channel. I wrote the whole book, and I have enough research. I could probably write 10 books. So there is more Missing in the Fae theory coming for Missing Persons and Mysteries. Actually, they already have parts 5 and 6. But what I'm going to do on my channel is make different scripts for me instead of like using the same ones. So Machine Elves sent me. I don't know who that is either, but that's cool. Love tarot. I read Oracle, but I would read for you. I have a spot open. So I do them for free. I put a donation link in the description box, but I don't charge. So it's not like a mandatory thing. Like you don't pay me to do it. I'll give you a reading. Can anyone else not hear me, guys? Is everything okay? Casey, I'm so sorry about that. I'm wondering if it's on my end. It doesn't seem like it is. JJ, I got your book. I just got to find time to read it. Casey, thank you so much for coming in. I'm really sorry. Wide Awake, I can actually do it tonight after stream. And if you could just give me your email address, I'll write it down. What I need you to do, actually, I don't need to write it down. I need you to email me your first name only and your birth date, and I can do a reading for you. I feel bad when that happens. April, hey girl, I'm so sorry I missed your call today. I was trying to nap, but I did speak to Steve. Yeah, absolutely. Wide Awake. I do them all the time for people, and I'm actually through my list right now. I have a couple patrons I have to do, but that won't be a problem at all. Crash Steel, what is up? Thank you, April. I have it in blue, black, red, dark green, and white because they're like $3 at Walmart. This talks about the machine elves. I don't understand what that means. Dusty Carlisle, welcome. April, why are you not a moderator? Oh, dragons, thank you. Ghost out, little lady, and folks, have a wonderful night and weekend. Be blessed. You too. April, I'm wrenching you. I'm giving you power of the wrench. April, I hear you have amazing updates Steve and I are working on. I'm going to do a script. We're going to get those out for you. Dragons, I can't thank you enough. I've been in contact with them and they sent me to you. Oh, okay. Vegan Prophet, if you want, email me. If one of my mods can please put my email in the description box, I would really appreciate it. Wide Awake, absolutely. If you email me like right now or right when the stream ends, that's what I'm going to be doing them because I have scripts and stuff to write. So I usually do like 2 a night. So I'll do yours, get it out to you probably by morning. I just need your first name and birth date. Dragons, be well. I'm sending you my Wubby. Machine elves. Yeah, I'm going to have to look into that. Love the beach, but glad I'm home and didn't miss the live. Hey, listen, I might miss the live for the beach, but I'm getting my beach house. So what I'm going to do, guys, and I hope you don't mind, is read a chapter of my book. And I'm just kind of going to randomly, I guess, choose a chapter randomly. I have so many in here. I'm going to read The Almost Missing. April, no apologies. Infinite Psychosis, welcome. And remember, while I'm reading, I cannot see the chat. Chris Holm, what is up? So I'm going to look that up, definitely, Machine Elves. And please email me about it. I would love to hear about it if you were sent to me. Here we go. Chapter 7, The Almost Missing. Now that we have covered what I consider to be the most basic parts and elements of the Fae and their connection with the worlds missing in the woods, the strange and nonsensical deaths and disappearances, I'd like to explore much deeper and possibly much darker into the scary world of the missing in the Fae. After all, let's not forget that the Fae are supernatural and they precede humanity. Therefore, so much about them is still unknown to us. From what we do know, fairies are actually some of the most frightening and dreadful creatures a human could ever encounter, especially in the deep, dark depths of our world's forests and woodlands. And let's not forget our national parks. Fairies are magic, and magic in the wrong hands can be deadly. Could fairies at least be a part of the reason why people all over the world are going missing in the blink of an eye and vanishing without a trace? Fairies are reportedly seen everywhere and anywhere. Wherever there are boulder fields and berry patches, streams of water and circles of stones. Their places of dwelling, if listed, could go on and on. Don't let their mostly small stature fool you. Fairies themselves are magic, and they know how to use it. For better or worse, for good or bad, for life or death, this fact alone makes them so much more formidable than we recognize because of how tiny we have all falsely come to believe they are. I'd assume that by now you know enough to never set out and seek something that you don't understand and couldn't possibly even begin to comprehend, such as the Fae. But let's just say you are unfortunate enough to happen upon a fairy during a day hike or camping trip. Completely innocently and by accident. Remember to never give them your name, for this gives them power and possibly even complete control over you. Perhaps give them a fake name or even a nickname, and remember, if you know their name and say it aloud so they can hear it, they must leave you alone. Who knows why? It's simply a law of nature as far as the Fae are concerned. When trees die, sometimes rings of wild mushrooms sprout up in their place. Many believe this is where the portals to the fairy realms lie, inside these mushroom rings, these fairy rings. Never stand inside one. Upon first hearing this, I couldn't help but wonder if maybe this is one of the reasons why people are going missing as well. Being lost in the woods for days and sometimes even weeks, a human being is going to get hungry. Someone dehydrated, confused, and most likely delirious, possibly even hypothermic, isn't going to be thinking straight and may see these mushrooms as food. Is this another lure? Are the fairies themselves what are making these people suddenly sick and needing to separate from the group, only to find themselves confused and lost and not knowing even sometimes who or where they are? Maybe they suddenly come upon these mushrooms and in their discombobulated state decide to eat them. Who knows? Maybe the fairies even put it in their minds to do so. They then enter the fairy realm, and who knows what is done with them. Most likely their loved ones will never see them again. Mushroom rings equal fairy trap. Lesson number 1. There are many special types of phenomenon that come along with a fairy encounter. Sometimes a person will experience just one of these things, and other times they'll experience two or more, and sometimes all. One thing we've been hearing more and more about in the stories of what I like to call the almost missing is a profound silence suddenly coming upon nature right before the encounter. A kind of static will enter the air as well, leaving all of the hairs on your body to stand completely on end, an electric charge like right before a loud and particularly violent storm. There will be a sense of losing time somehow, of course, with no way of knowing why or how the time is lost, and sometimes even where it went to. Many people report while experiencing a fairy encounter, one they thought they had just happened to come across randomly, whether to their great or terrible luck. There's a sense in the back of their mind somehow, perhaps even in their subconscious, that whatever display they're witnessing is being put on just for them, as though maybe it wasn't such a random or chance encounter after all. There is always either an unusually clouded or unusually vivid memory of the experience, and you could also start to feel as though this particular sighting or event happened at a very specific time in your life, as if it were fate somehow, with the fairy encounter somehow marking a turning point in your own life. These are just to name a few of the feelings and physical experiences one may suffer before, during, or after encountering a fairy or fairies. Of course, there can be some form of reconciliation for us once we come to the conclusion finally that the old legends of beautiful beings fluttering about on gossamer wings and drinking the dew off of beautiful tulips are nothing more than made-up fairy tales, if you will, told to lull us into a happy sleep and give us even happier dreams when we lay our little heads down at night. At least that's what I always thought the purpose of such nonsensical stories were. However, now I know better. It is of the opinion of many experts on fairy legends and lore that perhaps these stories were made up by the fae themselves in order to cause those who hunt them to think them more harmless and unassuming. This reconciliation being that we do not have to toss these old legends aside completely and come to know the fae in a different light. Perhaps they'll become even more enchanting to us, even as we become more aware of the danger associated with and all around them. We've talked before about many of the parameters used when deciding which cases of missing people fit into the completely baffling, those that have no other explanation at all than something we humans may consider otherworldly. We know the fae are much more commonly reported as being seen than angels or even demons. However, we still know much less about them. We know they're misunderstood for sure, keeping in mind again what we've always been told about them and what's actually the truth. When a person goes missing, all we really have to go on is either the scant evidence left behind, if there even is any, or the testimony of the people who, for whatever reason, were allowed to come back. And yes, I use the word allowed here because there's no way of escaping the fairy realm without permission. Once you have entered a portal, even by complete misstep or accident, you will be trapped there forever unless you are granted permission to leave. In speaking of all the many types of different fairies some of the missing may have encountered right before they vanished, the mind may begin to wander to all of the quote-unquote causes of death, all of the ways we try to be reasonable and rationalize the way in which some of the people were said to have met their end while in the woods. We've talked so much about the hideous and unimaginable creatures some of the fae folk actually are, but there are also several species who are inherently beautiful and charming. I wonder if it's even more likely that it was some of these types who have led many of the missing to their own demise. And that's chapter 7. Hey, Donna, Lily loves life. That is such an awesome name, and I'm so glad you're loving life. Anyone else? 13 Spirits Paranormal. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how to do that. Steve usually does that kind of stuff. I mean, is it the name of your channel? Just write like the name of your channel. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Tony. I don't know why I didn't say one of my mods share it. I got nervous because the last time someone said that to me, I made them a mod and they completely destroyed my channel. So guys, I'm going to be ending in about 6 minutes. I wanted to thank you all for coming out and talking about absolutely nothing with me, listening to me read a little bit of my book, and just giving me that support and patience and love and grace that you guys always give me. I'm finally starting to feel deserving of what I've been gaining for the first time in a really long time. Being able to be authentic and unapologetically me. And I really appreciate that. So anyone new here, just know that I do intuitive oracle readings. It usually ends up being like 7 or 8 cards. I do them for free. I put a donation link in the description box to either my wish list or my PayPal. Right now, I'm just putting PayPal. And usually Could take me up to 2 weeks, but normally it only takes a couple days. I'm going to do, I think it was Wide Awakes tonight. If you want a personal reading, or if you have any encounters with the supernatural and or paranormal that you want to be a part of my listener encounter series, which I'm starting up again next month, then just email me at gemmajadeParanormal@gmail.com. If you want a reading, give me your legal first name. Could be a nickname too. I just need an actual name and your birth date. That's it. That's all I need. I don't need any other identifying information, so don't get nervous. I'm trying to find, it was a really long name. Whoever said the machine elves sent them, please email me. I am extremely interested in that. And I actually have some time tonight. So I just want to say good night. I love you all so very much. I appreciate all of you. Gemma, will you be chatting with all of us every Friday evening? I will mark my calendar and set my alarms. Love you. Thanks for sharing your time with us. April, actually, I just did this tonight to take over the campfire stories because Steve is trying to finish a book, and also he really doesn't feel well. Sweetly Morbid Bear, yes, please text me. April, you can text me anytime, or if you want to talk, we could do that Sunday. I'm going by Donna's. You're so welcome. Wide Awake, thanks everyone for the warm welcome. That's what we try to do here. We do not tolerate any BS, any cruelty, any nastiness, even with differing opinions. It's so beautiful to watch everyone in the chat just talk to each other. I like Let's Hang Out live chats. Our lovely but late Rockin' Roberta used to do these too, and I miss them. Lily Loves Life, you are welcome anytime. And usually Friday nights from 7, like 15-ish to 8:30, it's myself and Steve Stockton on Missing Persons and Mysteries. And normally we'll interview a guest from the paranormal or YouTube community. But Sunday nights on Missing Persons and Mysteries from about 7:15 to 8:30, we just do this, he and I and the chat. So everyone who came in, I love you guys. Wide Awake, I'm looking forward to doing your reading. Anyone else needs anything, you know how to get a hold of me. I love you guys so much. I will not see you Sunday for Fireside, but I will see you Wednesday for live intuitive oracle readings. I go from about 15 p.m. Eastern time to 11:30 p.m. Eastern time, and I pull one oracle card for anybody who wants one that comes into the chat for free. I don't ask anything except hang out and have fun. Crash Steel, love the high vibes. Steve is fun. Hope he feels better soon. It's just the deadlines got him, I think, kind of tired. We would love to be interviewed. Three Souls Paranormal, send me an email tonight. I will talk to Steve, and we could probably have you on either next week. I probably won't be here next Friday either because I'm going to be at my daughter's for her birthday party. We'll email you probably within the next 2 weeks, definitely, because we're always looking for guests. Don't forget to let the cat out. Yeah, Three Souls. That sounds awesome. I love you guys, and I'm going to head out now. Steve said he might fall asleep while I'm doing this, so if you're on for a few minutes, just, you can exit or hang around. He's just going to end the chat. He said if he doesn't end it right away to call him. So, all right. Bye, guys. Be kind to each other. Be kind to yourselves. Always go in grace. Smile at a stranger. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday for the live streams, Monday with a new video at either Myrtles Plantation or Bizarre Aquatic Humanoid Encounters. I don't know, guys. I have so many videos coming up. All right. Have a great night. Sweetest dreams.